Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to take you on a boat tour of the east coast of the Bronx, something a little bit different. We're going to start by the Throgs Neck Bridge and work our way north to Pelham Bay Park. Come along for the ride. We'll start our tour today at the far western end of Long Island Sound. In the distance, the skyscrapers of Manhattan are visible, and especially notable are the new high-rises that have been constructed over recent years. This part of the sound is known for its sailing races, and on this day, the wind was blowing at a nice speed to allow for sailboats to boldly display their sails. As we approach the point where the mainland Bronx is close to Queens, New York on Long Island, we see the Throgs Neck Bridge, which was opened in 1961. The water can be a little choppy here as it's at the convergence of the Long Island Sound and the start of the East River. Unlike its neighbor, the Whitestone Bridge, which is named after the Whitestone neighborhood in Queens, the Throgs Neck Bridge is named for the neighborhood on the Bronx side, Throgs Neck. At a total length of nearly 3,000 feet, the bridge is a toll bridge with cashless tolling sensors on the Bronx side. We're starting today at the SUNY Maritime College, which is right in front of me. This college was founded in the late 1800s. The school is part of the State University of New York system and was founded to increase maritime interests in New York after the Civil War. This is only one of 7 universities in the United States that offers maritime degrees. Overlooking the Long Island Sound is the campus's Maritime Industry Museum. The promenade here is great for the students on campus to take a break and gaze out over the water, the place where their careers will eventually take them. This area is also a very popular place for fishermen to go fishing. SUNY Maritime is located on a peninsula in the Throgs Neck section here. The long approach to the Throgs Neck Bridge goes over the Maritime Academy Peninsula and continues over the water once again before reaching the mainland. Since the Bronx is nearly at sea level and the bridge is very tall, the ramp is quite long. On the other side of the long ramp is Hammond Creek, which leads to Locust Point, the site of more protected water, and several protected marinas. Let's head underneath the approach ramp and take a look at what's on the other side. Since the SUNY Maritime campus covers the entire peninsula, students get to enjoy the waterfront on 3 sides. This includes the East River, Long Island Sound, and Hammond Creek, which is the area that we've entered here. Even from the creek, you can see Long Island Sound and Nassau County in the distance. Once inside the creek area, there are several homes, many of which have their own private docks. And moving further in, we can see the entranceway to the narrow channel, which has another marina. The local neighborhood is called Locust Point and is primarily residential. The area is very popular with boaters, and many boat owners keep their boats there. It's a great location because it provides access to the Long Island Sound and the East River, which leads to Manhattan and eventually the Atlantic Ocean. We're now leaving this area and headed back under the bridge towards the Sound, where we'll turn left and continue to the north. You can see the low approach ramp as it joins the land nearly at sea level. And with the visibility being absolutely fantastic on this day, in the distance, you can even see the Alpine Tower across the Hudson River in New Jersey. Much of the shoreline is lined with homes, as we'll see for most of the ride today. While most homes are private, there are a few apartment buildings with some really good views. We're now approaching the Edgewater Park section of the Bronx, a very small community of only about 60 acres. With under 700 homes, Edgewater Park is a very densely packed community with mostly small homes and bungalows and very tight roads, reminiscent of the back streets in small European villages. The neighborhood even has its own parking lot, as the streets can be hard to navigate. It has an interesting history and was once home to a mansion in a space that was likely a lot more sprawling than it is today. On its north end is Weir Creek, a small inlet with marinas that once led much further inland until the city began its rapid growth. This is something that you don't see very often in New York City, a pedestrian promenade. It's for residents only who live in Edgewater Park, and it reminds you of being in another country. Sailing regattas are a common sight for the residents of Edgewater Park. North of Weir Creek, a small peninsula is home to condominiums and another marina. We're now in Eastchester Bay, the body of water between the mainland and City Island. Here, the water is generally a bit calmer. We're now coming up in the Eastchester Bay and Country Club sections of the Bronx. The homes on the shoreline have several private docks, and there are many private beach clubs that dot the shoreline. They often hold swimming competitions in the warm weather months. Many of the clubs also have swimming pools. The atmosphere is nothing like the rest of the Bronx. It's almost like being in a suburb, but it is very densely populated. While mostly private homes and beach clubs dot the shoreline, an occasional apartment building can be found. The Country Club section of the Bronx, which is home to around 7,500 people, is primarily residential and just south of Pelham Bay Park. It's bounded by Interstate 95 on its west side. The waterfront property, like most of the shoreline, consists of private homes and a few locations of social activity where locals often come together, especially during the summer months, to spend time enjoying the views, swimming in the bay, and boating. The water is shallow here, so it's very easy for anyone with a boat to pull out their anchor and spend the day here. Many of the properties have small piers used for boat docking. A nursing home, school, and a church are among the fortunate with waterside property to enjoy the views. While different than Edgewater Park, Country Club has its own uniqueness. Notable are its street names on its northern side, which have names related to electricity such as ohm, watt, and ampere, due to a donor in that area who worked in that industry. Some of the homes here are some of the largest in the Bronx. It's only in Riverdale, which is on the other side of the Bronx on the Hudson River, where you'll find some pretty fierce competition. I hope you're enjoying this video. Please take a moment to consider liking and subscribing to my channel, and don't forget to hit that bell button so that every time I post a new video, you'll be made aware. As we reach the northern end of Country Club, we can see how the land juts out on Outlook Avenue. Situated on it is a condominium complex. Here we find Evers Marina. Evers Marina is home to many boats, and it's very well protected due to a breakwater on the southeast side which protects it from waves from Eastchester Bay. Evers Marina is more than just a marina. It's listed by the FAA as a seaplane base with a real airport code of 6 November 6. The runway here is water and can be used in any direction based upon the wind. It's used very infrequently, so it's rare to even get a glimpse of a plane using the facility, but it does happen. So yes, the Bronx does have an airport. Well, kind of. We're in Eastchester Bay, and directly behind me is the Hutchinson River, which is named after Anne Hutchinson. The Hutchinson River is actually a stream that starts off in Westchester County around the Scarsdale area and then flows south. It's freshwater and mixes with salt water once it arrives in Eastchester Bay here in Long Island Sound area. We're now in Pelham Bay Park, the largest park in New York City. In the foreground is a landfill, and in the background is Co-op City, the largest housing cooperative development in the world. The red buoy here marks the entrance to the Hutchinson River, which is only navigable in its southern portions. 2 drawbridges cross the river, as well as the Hutchinson River Parkway and Interstate 95. We won't go up the river on this trip, as it only leads to an industrial area and is very difficult to navigate. Still in Pelham Bay Park on the other side of the Hutchinson River is the second neck of our tour today, Rodman's Neck. The neck is named after Samuel Rodman, and is used by the New York City Police Department as a firing range. It was home to landowner Thomas Pell in the 1600s. Pelham Bay Park itself is named for Mr. Pell. We're now headed east to go around Rodman's Neck. That's City Island in front of us. City Island is a residential nautical community with many restaurants and yacht clubs. Don't forget to check out my other video where I do a complete circumnavigation of the island. As we turn left, we see the east side of Rodman's Neck and a sailboat that broke loose from its mooring. A mooring field is located on the right side, and its launch is accessible from City Island. Strong storm winds can sometimes cause boats to wind up like this. In the distance is the City Island Bridge, which connects the Bronx mainland to City Island. We'll be passing under the bridge soon in what will be the most narrow part of today's journey. At more than 3 times the size of Central Park in Manhattan, Pelham Bay Park is the largest park in New York City and is bordered by water on its east side. It was formed during the Ice Age and is home to many tidal marshes. In the park are bird sanctuaries, and you can often spot deer, coyote, and wild turkeys. There are many scenic nature trails in the park, as well as a bridle path and golf course. The park is home to the Bartow Pell Mansion, which was built in 1836 in the Greek Revival style. We're now going to pass under the City Island Bridge, which connects the mainland Bronx to the island of City Island, also located in the Bronx. At 950 feet long, this bridge opened up in 2017 and replaced the original bridge that opened in 1901 on the same site. Just past the north side of the bridge is our last point of interest, Orchard Beach, which is completely located in Pelham Bay Park. At just over 1 mile long, the crescent-shaped Orchard Beach is the Bronx's only public beach. The beach was established in the early 1900s and expanded by Robert Moses, a New York City planner. It features a central pavilion with a now unused bathhouse, which has New York City landmark status. Instead of a boardwalk, it has a tile promenade that runs the entire length of the beach. Orchard Beach is a popular spot for locals and can get crowded during the warm summer months, but during the off-season, it's a nice, quiet place to enjoy the water from a tranquil point of view. It's here where we end our tour today. From Throgs Neck to Orchard Beach, we've covered it all. The Bronx is a very diverse borough, and its east shoreline represents a unique aspect of the Bronx that most people aren't familiar with. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any suggestions for any future videos that you'd like to see, leave those suggestions in the comments section below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that bell button so that you're alerted as to every time I post something new.